Now, the other thing that's different about timpani is muting. I don't think you want to over mute, but you do need to be aware on typical instances. For example, when you're going from a roll on one drum to a different drum, that roll is going to keep ringing. And you're going to hear this drum still ringing over. So as a rule, any drum that rolls to a different drum for the release, I'm going to mute the drum that I rolled on. Usually the lower drums are going to ring more, so I might do more muting on the lower drums, like if I'm coming off a rhythm here and I'm ending on this drum, I might mute that 32 so I can hear the last drum clearly. And that's just something to get used to. Now, when we're muting, the way I like to think about muting, hold the stick with your first finger only. Then I try to kind of Spider-Man my fingers out as far as possible, and my thumb as well. And then I want that to hover over the drum like a spider, okay? So when I do this, let's see if we can see here, I'm also don't want to just go and then hit the rim and hit the drum when I do that. So I rotate the tip of my stick in so it's kind of hanging out in the space here. Also, I want to mute where the hit spot is because that's going to be the most effective mute. Some kids will mute and they kind of just do the edge. And they're not really muting anything. Likewise, if you go too deep, it's still going to ring. Over to the side, kind of better. But right where you hit, it's going to be the most effective. You want this to be quick. You don't want to get any sizzle from your fingertips. And you don't want to push too hard either and and change the drum pitch, okay? So you got to find that perfect touch. So a good exercise to do is go back and forth with chord notes. Now, when you're not hitting the drum, mute it with one hand. That's going to take some getting used to. And after a while, I mean, you don't want to over mute, but a good exercise is just kind of make up a melody on the drum. So that's something, I mean, you could just make that up and it creates some kind of a muting exercise for you. As far as tuning goes, we have to tune these drums every day, okay? Yes, your drums might come with gauges, but the best way to think about it is that those gauges are wrong every day because of the weather, humidity, if the door was open, if the AC has been on for a long time, if the cover has been on for a long time, quality of the head, how old the head is. It's going to fluctuate because it's a very large head. So assume your gauges are wrong every day. Tune with your ears, not with your eyes. Okay? Doesn't that make sense to use your ears to tune? I would get Tonal Energy or some kind of app like that where you can check the pitch on your phone. You could use a marimba. You could use a pitch pipe, but have a reference note. And I would always start from the bottom and scoop up. Now I'll show you in a second here how your feet should be placed on the pedal, but here's how I would do tuning, and then I'll kind of walk you through how we do tuning in region band auditions. First of all, make sure the pedal's all the way down, so it should be all the way down, okay? Make sure it's all the way down. Set your feet, don't wait to put your foot on, have your foot waiting there for you. Strike in a good hit spot, which we have already talked about. Then, don't just stand there. You want to hear the pitch as long as possible. Get your ear down to the drum. Don't let your face hit the drum and mute it. Ladies, make sure your hair is tucked back where it's not going to mute the drum. And then we're going to gliss up. We're going to scoop up to the note we're trying to hit. So let's say we're trying to get a C. So in my head, I'm going to hear that. Now, even if you're not the best singer, you can find a pitch. Now, in your head, have that note, so you hear it first. Strike it and gliss slowly until you get to that note. And then you can fine tune after you strike it again. Now, typical thing I see kids do is they have their pitch and they go. too much going on, okay? Also, they might skip, they might glist too fast. And they just totally pass it up. You also could go way too slow and then the drum dies. Right? You need to have a nice, slow, steady glist to get to the note so you can hear as you get to it and you don't pass it up too quickly. Typically when I tune, all I use is one note to tune. All I use is my phone, or I use a Dr. Beat for one pitch, and then I use my relative pitch to get the rest of the pitches. And we'll talk about that in another lesson about relative pitch and knowing your intervals. So typically in the Regents auditions, in phase 2 is the only time you have to tune the middle drum. So what's going to happen is there will be a monitor that will look at you and make sure you're ready, make sure your foot is set, make sure your hands are ready, and then look at them and shake your head. Then they're going to hit a note either on a xylophone or marimba. You hear that pitch? Now again, the humming is in my head. You're not going to sing, okay? Then you strike it and get to the note. Then check it on your own and make fine-tuned adjustments. Then look at the monitor again and shake your head, and then they're going to hit it one more time. And then you can check and make any adjustments you can. They're only allowed to hit it twice, and it's only 15 seconds. Another typical mistake kids make in that is they do the right thing. They look at the person, they're ready. They look at them again, and they go. And then they change it. Then they were right, and then they change it to make it wrong. So make sure you practice this with another person, and get used to this where it's not a thing for you. You shouldn't be scared about tuning. I know this is silly, but I think this is the best way to put it. As far as where your feet go on the pedal, let's pretend this shoe is the pedal. Your shoe matches up exactly with it. Most students are going to just put their toe and kind of push. You're not going to have control. Your weight's just going to push it forward, and then you're going to be like doing this back and forth. No. Even when you're pushing the pedal up, you still need pressure in the back to control it from going too fast or too slow. And then if you need to make fine-tune adjustments, if you push in the back foot, you still have the front controlling as well. So make sure your whole foot is on there, and that way you can control the pressure in any direction. The best thing to do on timpani is to sit down on a stool. Typically, you want a stool that can adjust up and down, because not everybody's the same length of arm and torso and all that. But typically, you younger students are going to be short, and you're going to be putting yourself in a bad hit spot position, and some of you tall guys are going to be way down here. So here are the rules about timpani playing. As a general rule, your arms should be at a slight angle down. It shouldn't be a large angle down. It shouldn't be flat. It should be slightly down. Adjust your throne to be that height. Slightly down. You're probably not going to be the perfect height, so having a stool really helps you get in a good position. Also, when you're sitting down, this is a little strange, and it took me a while to understand this, but your feet should be on the pedals. Yes, you've already tuned, and yes, you don't want to accidentally change your tuning, but in a concert setting, and sometimes in a performance, you'll notice your tuning's wrong because it sounds a little off, or the pitch of the band is changing throughout the concert. You can make fine adjustments as you are playing. Your feet are already there. You don't have to make a decision, right? Plus, you can tune 2 drums at once as opposed to switching back and forth if you're standing up.